Hikaru, congratulations on winning the whole Grand Prix Series, yet if you're finishing the second. What do you think were the odds of you qualifying to the event before it all started?
Yeah, well, first of all, I mean, it's very unfortunate because if this was maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, there were actually overall prizes. I think when I played the Grand Prix and maybe so 2015, 16, or one of those early ones, I think there was an overall prize of like 50,000 euros or more for winning the whole thing. So a little bit unfortunate that there's no overall prize. In terms of the odds, I mean, I think probably I would say there were maybe like 10%, 15% before everything began. I mean, I think I was quite fortunate in the first leg. I think I got perhaps players who hadn't played as much. They weren't as sharp, like in Grishchuk and Bakro specifically. I mean, Esipenko obviously a very strong player, but he can also win and lose a lot of games. So I mean, it's sort of double-edged. But I felt with Bakro and Grishchuk, maybe they didn't put a lot of pressure on me in those first couple of games, and after that, I sort of settled in, and I think I played pretty well throughout both the events. I mean, obviously in this event to win 3 games at the end was, I mean, I would say odds of that were extremely low. Again, like 5–10%. But I found a way. I played well, and yeah, overall it's a good result.
Was there the moment in your in the last, let's say, month that you got really surprised at what happened?
No, I mean, I think, I mean, I never really thought about it that much. I mean, until I beat Levon in this 4th game here, it really wasn't really on my mind. I know there were stats and people talking about it, but again, you show up and you play. And so it was only after that it was on my mind. And then I think once I actually qualified, it was the only thing on my mind. So I was like completely zoned out of the whole tournament the rest of the way. But yeah, it was obviously great.
Who do you think besides you has made the best let's say, reconversion from professional chess into another profession?
So you're saying coming back to chess, or you mean going from chess somewhere else?
From professional chess to somewhere else.
I don't know. I mean, I think there are quite a few examples in business. I don't know if there's anyone in particular, but I would just use 2 examples. I think Patrick Wolf, an American Grandmaster, went into finance. I think he's had quite a bit of success. And then also Joel Lautier, a French Grandmaster. I think he's doing quite a bit, or he was doing quite a bit with business in Russia for a while. So I think, I mean, those would be 2 examples that I can think of.
What do you think are, let's say, the 3 top key criteria that you need to become a successful streamer?
Successful streamer. I mean, first and foremost, you have a passion. You have to have a big passion for what you do. I think that's more important than anything else. I mean, if you go into it for the right reasons, you want to share whatever game you're playing, whatever it is that's your passion. I think that's the most important thing. I think you have to have some sort of charisma as well. You have to be able to interact quite well with your chat. And the third part, I think, is you have to some degree, learn the skill set, assuming you don't come from you don't come from sort of like audio and video, this sort of background. You have to learn some of those tools. So being able to understand the tech side of things with setting up volumes and webcams and overlays, all these different things. I think learning that is probably the 3rd most important skill, those 3 skills. So passion. The second one was what? I can't remember now.
Charisma?
Yeah, is being able to interact, having some charisma, having some personality. And the 3rd one, of course, is understanding the tech.
Everybody is speaking about their alternative professional chess goal, that's becoming a world champion or fighting for the world champions, playing the candidates. But we haven't yet had a chance to speak about online chess goals. Do you have any concrete online professional chess goal as let's say, esport athlete?
I mean, I think that depends on what happens in the future, especially in regards to chess.com. I know they're organizing a pro chess league thing, or they're trying to organize it, I think, next year. So if I had to look for a big event that might have some impact, I think that's probably an event. I think maybe there's some Indian stuff as well coming online. But overall, I mean, when I play online, at least, I obviously always want to win. But it's more about bringing chess to the audience than it is about the pure results. So if you're asking me if I want to like win a tournament, win a tour, or something along these lines, I mean, it would be nice, but it's not the overarching goal.
Or holding the highest online rating, let's say, on all the platforms?
I mean, I stopped caring about that a long time ago. I mean, it's a rating online. You play the games, and that's that. I mean, this doesn't really matter all that much. I mean, again, I think at the end of the day, when we look at ratings, whether it's online or even over the board, at the end of the day, there's one rating that's more important, and that's the classical rating. That's the one that everyone ultimately cares about the most.
Even you?
I mean, if you ask me, I mean,
Compared to-
well, okay, like for example, today, obviously, I mean, technically I was #1 in the world at Rapid, and then I lost the match today, so I'm not. But it doesn't really matter that much. But for example, as I sort of alluded to earlier, my only goal once we got to the knockout was just make sure I don't lose any classical games. That was the only goal that I had in mind. I didn't care if I lost to Wesleyan, tiebreakers, or Shaq, any of that. Just don't lose in classical. So yeah, certainly out of the ratings, it's the one that matters the most.
Right, Hikaru, I think it's time to finish, so I wanted to thank you for being always so friendly and welcoming. It was a pleasure for having a chance to speak to you, and can't wait to see you in the candidates.
Thanks.